Hey, articulation exercises are awesome, yet the usual traditional articulation exercises are kind of boring. That's why people don't stick to them. So in this video, I'll show you how to make articulation exercises interesting. They should not take much time and they can be fun. Are you ready? Let's get started. So the secret to making your practice interesting is, instead of playing with some sound drills, let's play with phrases. This way you replace something monotonous with something very practical, so that you can sense how you can use it right away in your everyday self-expression. And before we get to the phrases, let's start with a tiny warming up. Exercise number 1, stretching your mouth. It's self-explanatory, you just open your mouth wide. And then you imagine you're a tiger producing some sound. Exercise number 2, lip roll with the sound boom. So let's do it. You imagine you say boom. Make sure it's not too loose, it's not too tight. So try to find that middle position, maybe helping yourself with your fingers. The next one, simply ah-o-e-u. As you can notice, ah-o-e-u, your lips start moving. That's what we want to do. Here I also suggest trying to make it a bit longer. This way you're turning it into a breathing exercise. So let's give it a try. Ah-o-e-u, 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 ah-o-e-u. So you can do it a couple times to pump up the air and feel that airflow going. But make sure it's all connected. It's not ah-o-e-u, ah-o-e-u. It's ah-o-e-u, ah-o-e-u, ah-o-e-u. The next exercise, we're adding expression. So you're still articulating, but now let's try to get closer to speaking and thinking, going from thinking to connecting. So let's try. Ah-o-e-u, 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 ah-o-e-u. This way you start feeling how this articulation and being expressive plays out when you're actually saying a phrase. So let's play with a phrase. I picked the phrase, "The best way to predict the future is to create it," by Abraham Lincoln. Great quote. You can take any phrase, maybe quotes, maybe something inspirational, from 10 to 20 words. That would be a good range. So the idea is to simply outperform the pronounce app. I'm using how to pronounce app. I just love it. There is a free version. They have a faster and slower speaking rate, so you want to outperform the fast one. Like it's here, the regular one. So let's try. The best way to predict the future is to create it. As you can notice, it was way faster, even though this is a pretty regular pace. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So how do you outperform the app? A couple more exercises we need. As an exercise, feel the stresses. I want you to engage your body, like speaking is a bit of a dance, if you would, so feel those stresses. So the best way to predict the future is to create it. I feel 3 stresses here. The next thing, find the connections. And by connections, I actually mean those spots where we kind of naturally break the airflow. For example, the best, the best. So the airflow kind of stops for a tiny moment, and we want to create a continuous airflow. We want to feel like it's the water flowing from the vowel sound to the vowel sound. So all the consonants, of course, we do want to pronounce them clearly, but at the same time, we want to do it really, really fast. And to do that, let's try to feel how we go from the vowel sound to the vowel sound. In this case, it's not best way, but best way. Best way. Way to predict predict the future. Predict the future. And if you need to stay a bit longer here, articulating, feeling how you clearly pronounce those consonants, please do it several times. Is to create. Is to create it. So now you're ready to outperform the app. Now, to outperform the app, what I want you to feel that you start with the first vowel sound and go right to the end, to that destination. We don't want to be very fast, but no hurry, right? Give yourself as much time as you need, but at the same time, try to feel how you increase the pace gradually. So let's try. The best way to predict the future, check what you're saying. The best way to predict the future is to create it. You can again split into pieces first to play with those pieces first. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So let's try. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Okay, so we're in line. I'm in line. Let's try a bit faster. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Now it's a little faster, a bit better. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So once you're done, let's move to the last exercise. Finding the key words. Now I want you to think about like 3 key words in that phrase. Especially when it's a bit longer, closer to 20 words, maybe even longer. For example here, the best way to predict the future. Okay, predict, future, create, right? Predict, future, create. So I want you to keep those key words and then you're just saying the phrase. And maybe it's going to be a little different. No worries. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So this way, again, you're putting some accents there. And you give yourself permission to just think and transform your thoughts into articulation, spontaneous, like flowing. It's not translating or transferring it into text first. Especially it's awesome for you if English is not your native language. Like for me, it's not native language. So this way, you're just letting your thoughts flow into language, bypassing the stage of like thinking about the words and particular phrases. But even if you're a native English speaker, I think it's always a great exercise. So give yourself permission to think, and you're not reading again, you're just thinking, right? So the best way to predict the future is to create it. So now you've outperformed the app. You don't need to be that fast. You can slow down and come back maybe closer to regular pace because again, maybe it's a little fast, that pace that we have in this app. So the main idea of these articulation exercises is to be able to say your phrase in a very smooth manner where you're not rushed. It's not about trying to be fast, but we're trying to give ourselves as much time as we need, but we want to feel the flow of the vowel sounds and all the consonants. We want to clearly pronounce them, but we want to give a bit of training so that we do that easier, faster, no effort, so that it again goes fluently as a flow. So that's basically it. These exercises are great for everyone. I'm a person who stutters, so in particular, if you are a person who stutters, I think the next step would be to use the hand stuttering technique that I'm using myself. I'm teaching my students, which gives great physical alignment between our brain and the speech mechanism. And since speaking interaction involves other people, ideally you want then to use this articulation for a performance, for presenting yourself. Join the Free From Stutter Facebook group, for example. Make a short introduction or do your practice. Anything that comes to your mind, pretty much. And if you want to go deeper into how you can learn the training speech and the hand stuttering technique to feel that speaking can be relaxing, powerful, and expressive, and also how we can build a new emotional state associated with the act of speaking where we're not afraid of it, but we can truly love being here in that moment, head over to freefromstutter.com and join my free training. Thank you so much for watching. For more videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.